Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. This is taken near the 13. And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The first carry now. This is Johnson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. 2nd down, Murray sets to throw. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Murray now on 1st down. This complete to the tight end, Clay. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
First down, Murray. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards the pickup, good enough for an Arizona 1st. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action and take your shot at the end.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. David Johnson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get this back to just the 20 with a penalty marker down. Let's see what this is about. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask gets him a free 15 to start the drive.
43 is the mic. I'll go special. I'll go special. 40, go. Check, 43.
Here's Wilson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Good job right there. Good job right there. 43.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
After the turnover, here's Murray. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. Give him a couple on the catch at 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Murray got his man. It's Williams. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. There aren't any speed limits out there, and off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. An update from Denver. The Broncos have taken the early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break the tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Keep playing all day. Woo! Let's get it. Set, ready.
the gun on third down. Murray into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. His tight end Clay, the intended receiver. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
On second down now, it's Carson. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Now a 3rd and goal situation as this Arizona defense tries to stand tall once more. They'll try to run with Carson. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. 7-7, our score after 1. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Myers' kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Murray. Screenplay, Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A little bit of space there for the 1st down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On the Seahawks 41. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Johnson on the counter. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. 23 yards the pickup there.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Ready. 54 miles. Tackle.
From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Johnson will get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Murray and company going for it on 4th. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson, he's got his man on the crossing route. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 32-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Listen. Fair.
From the gun, it's Wilson, rolling to his right. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
380. Alert. Friday.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's going to walk one deep left side here. This is caught at the 20. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. It's a big play there for Seattle. 46 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. This is Carson. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Good job right there. 12.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
43 is the mic, boy. 43. Check. Look small. Rabbit. Mike's 43.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Hard throw, incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And Myers able to knock it through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 32-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more?
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Gonzalez now to add the extra point. And his kick is right through.
Makes the score Cardinals 14.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Man left. You got 3 down.
Now it's Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Now it's Wilson. Steps away to his left. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number one. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a one-point game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's third down.
Watch the flag, watch the flag, watch the flag.
To throw on third down, Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one good for 24 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
On first down, Carson. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Here's Wilson. They set up the screen to Penny. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big gain.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Hey, alert! 43 is the mic. 43. Let's go, defense. Out of time.
To throw is Wilson. Forced out to his left. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
36 power. 43 is the mic. Go. Pass.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Looking middle, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels. Got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy? And what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
At the Cardinals' 15-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. And leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. Wilson dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first. They'll come out in the pistol. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on second and goal here. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
At the 8-yard line.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Good shot, baby. Hey, 0. 43.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Buying time to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Let's go double count right here. Double count.
Here's Carson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a gain of 5, but they do keep him out of the end zone, and now it's 4th down.
Brings up 4th down and goal.
So on 4th down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. Myers' kick is good. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this 3rd quarter. It's his 3rd field goal now in the ball game, and they needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give them.
Oh, now Murray has it stripped. And the Seahawks have picked it up. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Wilson to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, if they're out there, we'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Murray now on first down. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Charles Clay is tight in the intended target, but it'll be second down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd and 7, Murray escaping the pressure right. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
The Cardinals on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. On the draw, this is Smith. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Murray sets to throw on 4th. It's brought in by Bolden. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. A first down carry for Smith. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now on 2nd and 13. Murray eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away.
Yeah, I think here's
through an opening, and there he goes. The 40, 30, past the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, 93 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way. Way to the end zone.
So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. Throwing is Wilson. Flushed out right. And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken very short. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Line 54. Come on, D. Shift.
Back to the air on second down. It's Murray. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. The Cardinals on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Murray going to throw. He finds Bolden. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 34-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Murray now on first down. And he gets it to Bolden. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Throwing again, Murray. And that's going to be incomplete. Aqib Talib, the veteran Pro Bowler, there to get a hand in, knock it away.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They're going for it. It's Murray. And this is going to be incomplete. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Wilson, the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 right at the 30. Here's Wilson being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Hey, guys, listen. Hey, watch 12.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the 1st down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And the Seahawks who picked it up. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Fake handoff to Johnson. Now here's Murray. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Murray and company going for it on 4th. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
Green 80. 43. Check, 43. Hey, watch the ball.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
43's the mic.
Now a toss play. It's Carson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
43's the mic, boy. 43. Check, 43. Hey, check.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson is complete to Lockett. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Now it's Wilson. And he's got the big tight end, Graham. Touchdown, Seattle. Jimmy Graham, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From the 45 on 2nd down, Murray is complete to the tight end Clay. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 41-yard line. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Seahawks, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they'll fall to 1-2. And